support. So Isa, why don't we start with just a few bits about yourself, what you do, where you are, just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Isabella. I live in Chicago, around Chicago, Illinois. So I am in the States and I have 3 kiddos. I nanny 2 other kiddos. So on a daily basis, I use 5 kiddos, and it's possible to do things for yourself. Not very easy, very simple, but not very easy. So there's a will, there is a way. So let me be your example. You can do it. Whatever you want to do, you can do. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I'm currently fully in network marketing, actually part-time in network marketing, but
1 hour per day, but fully.
Yeah. Yes. And I also have a full-time job as a nanny. So, and that I love to do that. So
beautiful.
Especially in network marketing.
Love it. So good, Isa. So tell us a little bit about where you were at before we met, what was going on for you, and what inspired you to invest in yourself with us.
Okay. So when I first even heard of TIR, I was on vacation. We finally took a family vacation, I don't know how long, and somebody invited me to the master class. And I was like, I don't have time. And then I'm like, okay, just so she leaves me alone, I'll finally enter this group. And on the last day, it was so inspiring that on the last day before you guys had the success stories and all that stuff, I was able to complete all, I think it was 5, you do 5 days or 4 days?
5 days, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I was able to complete all of them, like on the plane ride home. And once I got home, as well as do all the homeworks and post them. And I was like, wow, finally somebody that I can relate to, especially with like your upbringing, Eva, because I'm very similar with that. But when I first heard of TIR, I was in network marketing, but I was in broke marketing actually, because I was at that point paying more for my own stuff than I was actually making. I also had a cake business, which was a lucrative business. It brought in about, 4 to 5K a month, which isn't bad. However, I never saw my kids from Wednesday to Sunday. I was basically shooing everybody out of the house because I didn't want anybody to mess anything up. I wasn't sleeping. So for the amount of time that I spent on the business, looking back, it was definitely not a lucrative business.
For sure.
Once I did the master class, I was kind of in a place where if nothing changes, nothing changes. And I had gone through all the Google, I had gone through all the typing into stuff. I had done all like the lower courses of people, and it kind of always got me excited, but it never tied all the loose ends. I would say it was like, okay, I did all this, but I still need more information to make it work. Or I heard this, but what does it really mean? And I watched The Secret, and, I did all the things, and it kind of left me in the same place. I didn't know what action to take. And it wasn't until I actually decided to do TIR, which is I'll just answer that question because I know you'll ask it. So I remember with Aneta, and she's like, are you ready to get your credit card? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. So I went to my car. Our connection was like all crazy because I live in the forest. And I came back, my card declined the first time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a sign. I can't. And she's like, let's just try it again. Maybe if it does decline the second time, maybe it is a sign, whatever. And then it went through. And then she's like, let's pop a champagne. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Like, I don't make decisions by myself. I wait for other people's opinions. I wait for people to talk me out of things. Like, what happened? And it wasn't until after I started TIR that I realized, like, we suck at decisions. We are totally ignoring our intuition. We have all the answers that we need. We're just not used to taking them because we want this person to tell us exactly what we want to hear. And if they don't, we start to doubt. So needless to say, after signing up for TIR, I was like, 3-4 days. I'm like, okay, and that's, I paid the money. Like, I got the email and she's like, you need to relax this weekend. Like, don't touch anything. I'm like, but I got the module. I don't know how it works. She's like, you need to relax. I'm like, it was a big commitment on my part. It was, with having kids, you never have money just laying around. I feel like I've never really done anything for myself that scared me. And it
Mhm.
was actually kind of refreshing, right? I was like, okay, now I can tell my kids if they make a mistake, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to, to do things that scare you. But like with my intuition, I knew it was the right step because I had done all the courses. I had researched all the answers. I was doing all the things and I wanted it. I just couldn't take the action. Like I knew what to do. I
Yeah.
just something like every time it was time, oh, my kid is crying. I have to do that first. Oh, the laundry's overflowing. Oh, it was like excuses took over and I really wanted it, but I just didn't know how to get past that hump. And I will tell you a little sneak peek, spoiler alert, it is you. You already have all the answers to everything you need. So going forward, like making this decision, you already have all the answers. So what is stopping you? Are you not taking action? TIR will teach you how to do that. Are you constantly making excuses? TIR will teach you how to change that. Are you constantly telling yourself you don't have time? You're not good enough to have a business. You're too busy. You already have a full-time job. All of those things are encoded in us because this is how we were, raised. This is how our parents did things. And TIR will help you with like fix and change all of that as long as you're willing to do the work. So
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, Isa, I love this. And thank you so much for sharing so honestly and vulnerably about the decision, because I'm sure there's a lot of mothers watching us. And yes, what you said, it's so powerful. Is typically mothers, especially mothers, they are the last ones that invest in themselves. They invest in everything and anything and the entire family, but not themselves. And yet that investment is in your entire family, because what you do for yourself, you're going to pass on to your children. So Isa, what are your biggest wins? So many of them. Tell us what's changed, what's
so
happened.
many. So a lot has changed. Actually, I can now tell my kids to be like, hey, take this risk. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because I took a risk and look at it. It worked out, right? Like, don't be the hypocrite kind of person where you're like, oh, be your best self, enjoy, enjoy. And you are miserable, secretly miserable with everything that's going on around you. Because I didn't think I was miserable. I didn't think, I had a home to live in. I had a husband. I had healthy kids. Yet I didn't have the kind of purpose, like not the kind that gives you joy, just the kind that like, even if you're not happy, you still move forward because there's more to it, right? You want to make a change. You want to make it for your family, for your friends,
Yeah.
and for yourself. But I was able to completely stop my cake business, which I wanted that. I wanted that. So it's not a bad thing. I just wanted my time back. I wanted to, network marketing became to me like a vehicle and a tool. And I finally saw like how other people's efforts can help you leverage time, which is what I needed more of. So I took full advantage. I jumped on. I took all the things that Eva and Bob said, and I actually did them. Even when I was busy, I set a timer for 10, 20 minutes. If I couldn't do the full thing, I did what I could. But the most important thing is I did them daily. I did them consistently.
Yeah.
And when I first signed up, I have to say, like they say, if you make a right decision, commit a decision, sometimes right away you see a difference, right? And I'm like, okay. So one of the things that happened was some random person, I did not know them, called me because she needed a nanny for only a few months. And I'm like, okay, I need the money for TIR. So I'm going to say yes, but I have no clue how this plays into anything. Like I'm going to be working more. I won't have my own time. And actually allowed me to get rid of my cake business, which is what I wanted. It allowed me to create a schedule and to be super intentional with my time. And that's why I'm able to, at the beginning, it wasn't an hour a day. At the beginning, it was like 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is supposed to help me be with my family, not like spend more than a full-time job. So having this nanny position, I guess, I'm a proud nanny, I gotta say it.
Yes.
It helped me like create a schedule and be like, okay, all I have is this half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening, and I got to make it work. What are the most important activities? What brings in income? Everything else, just like Sometimes I'll plug it in after the kids come in, like follow up with my customers. I'll do that separately. But to me, like I became somebody that treats my business like a business, not like a hobby, right? Because hobbies don't bring in money usually.
Yes.
So I started treating my stuff like a business. I started treating myself like a business owner. And I actually made time to do things, even if I didn't feel like it. I saw the bigger picture. So when I first started, as I said, I was pretty much broke in network marketing, right? Broke. I was spending money to keep my membership, my whatever, my stuff going. So I was investing still into it, like 3.5 years in network marketing. Right now I have, on average, I have had like 10K months, 12K months. I'm on average spending an hour a day, usually about 6 to 7 a month. So that's
My
K.
God,
So to
you
me,
girl.
yeah. So to me, at home, and then I still have additional income from being a nanny. So, I'm way over that 10K mark consistently, sometimes more. My goal when I was in TIR, so this is a funny story. I was like, okay, my goal is 5K, but I'm like, I'm already making 5. Okay, it's 10K. And then I hear all these people like 50K, 20K. And I'm like, you know what? Why not 20K? Why not 20K? And I have to say that it's not consistent yet, but between all the things I'm doing, I did have one 20K month, just one, but it was enough to help me keep going. So
Listen, this is celebration. This is fabulous. Wow.
yes,
I love this.
excited. And you know what? I'll tell you, like, there's going to be people that tell you don't do it. But the most unhappy in my life that I felt was when I wasn't listening, right? You have an intuition and it's telling you stuff. And soon you start ignoring it. So it either gets quieter and quieter, or it's still speaking the same language, but everyone around you has so many opinions that their opinions get louder and louder and louder. So really, I know that Eva asked the question, is there at all, do you feel like I can help you? If you really feel like that answer is yes, only you will know, right? Go for it, because as long as you're willing and committed to put in the work, you are going to be like a completely different person, not just in your business, but in your parenting if you have kids, in your brick and mortar business if you don't have an online business, in your relationship with your husband. All of these things are tools that you can use for every single aspect of your life. And I thought at first, I was like, I'm sure, what a corny, right? Corny, everything. It's going to help with everything, but it really will. Like today not today, on Saturday, I was actually using Inner Child to help me not feel guilty, because I sat out on the patio, it was nice. And I'm like, oh, and the brain is like, oh, you have laundry to do. You better go make that post for your business. Oh, you have clients to follow up with. And I'm like, Inner Child, please tell me, what do you need right now? And I was like, and it was a tool that I didn't think I would ever use in that way. It's mostly like, you're feeling overwhelmed or whatever, but it is a sense of overwhelm, just like, not really in business, just like, hey, you can do it. You don't need to deserve to relax. You can do it. You're human. And it was so refreshing.
So this is so inspiring. I tell you, I could interview you every day. It's so freaking inspiring. Tell me, what do you feel is the biggest difference in you as a person? Like, how are you different? Because obviously it's your inner transformation that created these external results. What do you feel is the biggest transformation?
So I really am able to respond versus react. And I think that helps you, instead of creating more anxiety over a decision, it just helps you kind of just like see, this is the reality. This is the story you're telling yourself, right? And to make decisions. So as I said before, I was always the one in the group chat, like, hey, where are we going on? And I'm like, you pick, right? Because I didn't want to make the wrong decision. Or like my husband wanted to go on vacation or to the store or whatever. What do we want? I don't know. You pick, right? I didn't realize that was something traumatic within me. I just thought I was being nice, letting everyone else pick. But like I was missing out so much. And now I'm just like, it really helped me be more open to what I want. But I feel like the self-image, and actually realizing what you want. Because I think a lot of us come into TIR like thinking we know what we want, but not really understanding why we want it. And having that isn't really going to help us push forward to when times get tough, or when you have that slow month, or when somebody leaves, or when something horrible happens, like, you know, a client says they want their money back, or they don't like the product. And all of a sudden you're like, everybody hates me, all these things, I'm not worth it. And it's like, you just got to realize that it has nothing to do with you. And I think that's been huge in my parenting, in my business. It's really helped open my eyes that it's nothing that I was doing wrong. When, you know, all these years being a kid in high school and everything, it was always like, you know, just try to fit in, just don't say anything wrong, and don't stand up, don't be louder, don't take up your space. I feel like with all of this, I'm finally taking up my space and I love it.
Beautiful. Actually, something came to my mind. You know, a lot of participants who are already in direct sales businesses, they do have their own training in-house. You know, like a lot of network marketing companies train their teams. How would you say thinking into results is different to that kind of training, and why is it a good idea to have thinking into results on top of your in-house network marketing training?
Okay, so a lot of the times in-house network marketing training, they use terms that we don't really know. Like they'll use paradigm, or they'll use this, and I've heard these words a million times and I Googled what they meant, but I had no clue how to apply them. So that's number one. Number two is you kind of, I love explaining it this way, because you kind of get the full circle. You get Bob in the course with Bob, right? It tells you, gives you worksheets, shows you, and tells you exactly what you need to do. Then you get a direct training from Eva in the Abundant Results group, where she actually takes it all apart for you and applies it directly to life, directly to business, directly to how you need it, right? For you to understand it and for you to be able to actually use it, not just like, oh, he told me to have a better paradigm. Okay, here's this on a piece of paper. Now what, right? So Eva takes it and she's like, all right, this you actually have to do. This is why you're doing it. This is what's going on. And then we actually have a mastermind. So I'm very honored and privileged. Thank you so much for being a mastermind leader. But I feel like I myself have learned so much to lead, and just to see like where people have questions. So you basically are going into a mastermind that is your, is it your, not career, but like
Industry.
your industry, your industry base. So you are masterminding with people that are already in your industry. So in my case, network marketing, that are doing the same things. And it's kind of like a shortcut, because, you know, we do assignments, we do like, what is your goal? This is what I'm working on. Well, why don't you try this, right? Because I've been doing it, it's been really well. You get the tips and tricks from somebody that's already inside the trade, and you get to do things that are actually working for other people. So it's like a sandwich, right? You have the Bob, you have the Eva, and then you have the mastermind and the accountability. And then you have your coaches that you meet with. I think it's 2 times a month now. So, you know, it's like every aspect. If you don't, you have the partner, right? Your accountability partner, which if you have questions or you need to, and I would say like really, really use that partner. Like it's so important for you to just get a vision of where you want to be and how, you know, how somebody else will see that vision. Maybe they can give you a pointer or a tip, but I absolutely think that it's genius, because you can't not show up, right? Like if the 4th person is asking you, did you do your thing? You're going to be like, oh no, I better do it.
Yeah. And I also believe that a lot of the times, now some direct sales companies provide mindset training, but most of the time it's only strategic training. And we know that if our mind is not in alignment with making the money in network marketing business, then it will sabotage executing the strategy. So that's also very important. But thank you so much. This was so valuable. So Isa, we have a lot of participants making decisions right now, and probably like yourself, in, out, should I not? How, like, what would be your tip, how to make the right decision, how to make sure that I'm making the right decision that will move me towards my goal this weekend?
Okay. So I was going to go ahead and have you close your eyes, but Bree did such a great job with that you should probably watch the previous training.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
But I would say, like, if I told you right now that you have all the skills and everything, all the information that you need to know right now in your business, and you're still not there where you think you need to be, like, what is going to change? Like, if you don't learn anything new, if you don't gain any more new information, like, where is that going to leave you in a month, 2 months, 5 months, a year down the line? If everything you already know and everything you need is like right here, right? Is that going to make a change if you're not taking action? If you don't take any action in a month, is that going to make a change? If you are not knowing why you hate money in a month, if you don't take any action, is that going to help you change? If you are horribly like, just don't think you're enough, you know you want something, but you don't know what even, right? Because you can maybe find that here. If you don't change anything in a month, in a year, what is going to change? So if you change, you need to be the change. And I know it's difficult. Like I said, I have kids and there's never just like, money laying around. It's like, oh, this and this and this. I have a mortgage, I have this. But like, what if your income could double in the next 6 months? Would that help you a little bit? I think so. So, just trust yourself, talk with your coach that's going to be, just list your concerns. Maybe they can clear them up for you also. Because I was very nervous. I'm pretty sure I cried. I was sweating horribly. My card fell out of my hand and I thought I was making the wrong decision. But that's because I didn't make any decisions. And maybe you're in the same boat, never made a decision for yourself. And I was somebody that was terrified to speak to my husband about it. But you know what? I was like, I really want this. And he was like, okay, let's try it. And I was like, hold on a second. This should not be this easy. But I already had determined and set myself up that, okay, I'm going to make this work no matter what. We're going to figure it out. And we did. So
congratulations. I love your story and your growth. Holy cow. My goodness, from that scared, indecisive woman, locked in cake business to this is just so amazing, Isa. Thank you so much for sharing this. And guys, we hope that this inspired you. The link is in the comments in the video description. And you get to hang out with people like Isa. Isa spoke about something very important. Someone asked us this morning, what do I do if I don't have people around me who are achieving what I want to achieve or who are supportive towards my goal? This is exactly what you do. You find them in Thinking into Results. You don't just get me, my team of accountability coaches, but you also have people like Isa, other clients in your industry who are making it in their business and rocking it in their business. And they support you when you create friendships for life. So with that, like, you literally cannot lose. All you've got to do is show up, do the work, exactly like Isa said. And even with 3 to 5 kids, you can make this work. Like, seriously, working 1 hour per day and making 10K per month in network marketing. Holy cow, how many people would love that? And that's a combination of mindset and strategies. And Isa did this. So really well done. Thank you so much. And we hope that we inspired you guys. Make sure that you make the right decision, that just like Isabella said, if you don't do something drastic right now, you know how long you've been earning what you're earning, doing everything you're doing, learning everything you're learning, knowing everything you know. If you don't do something drastic right now, what's going to change? Where are you going to be in the next 6 to 12 months? How are you going to be feeling? This works, like, seriously. There's just proof after proof after proof. All you've got to do is show up and, just like Isa said, be willing to do the work. If you just do that, we're going to celebrate in the next few months. So we hope that we inspired you, and we are looking forward to working with you. Thank you, guys.